Hey, set your mind right now. Nothing before this matters. We came here with everything still on the line. Everything you wanted in the offseason is still out in front of us. What would you give for that moment right now? Let's go, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Week 9 preview, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before I get started on that, anybody that is new to the channel and you guys love Raider-related content like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, the 2-5 Las Vegas Raiders, the Raiders are coming off of a completely disastrous performance against the New Orleans Saints, getting shut out on offense, and I think this game against the Saints was basically this team hitting rock bottom in this season, which the good thing about hitting rock bottom is there's really only one way up. At least we should hope. I don't think this team will look any worse than they did last week against New Orleans, but regardless, I'm curious to see how this team will respond after such a lopsided defeat, and this game should be a perfect opportunity to bounce back going against a 2-6 Jaguars team who have lost 5 straight games. Look, on paper, I think the Raiders, they have the more talented roster than the Jaguars, but also you cannot sleep on the Jacksonville Jaguars because despite their record, I think this team they have a young, talented roster. You know, it's actually crazy to think this is the same team that dominated the LA Chargers early in this season. After I saw that they completely dominated the LA Chargers, I thought, man, this team can definitely be a sneaky team in the AFC, but after that they went on a losing streak. So although on paper I think we should win this game, we have a slightly better roster than them. At the end of the day, we cannot take these guys lightly. Now, just going based on how this season has gone thus far, the Raiders have been an inconsistent team overall. One week we look pretty promising, it looks like we're starting to build some momentum, and the next week we lay a complete egg like we did against New Orleans. Look, I wouldn't be shocked if this team rebounded and got a victory over Jacksonville, and I wouldn't be shocked if this offense had a big bounce back game as well. I don't think we will see this offense struggle to the magnitude they did against the Saints. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders have opted to stay on the East Coast instead of traveling back from New Orleans to Las Vegas and essentially avoiding making the cross-country trip to Florida. The team will practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at IMG Academy in Florida before traveling to Jacksonville for Sunday's game. This move is essentially a move to help cut down the physical wear of such a long trip, but it also can serve this team as a sort of an in-season training camp environment where this team can focus solely on football and bond together as a football team without so many distractions compared to their normal life back in Las Vegas. Quarterback Derek Carr stated his thoughts on this move by saying, "I honestly think it's a good thing for our guys. We're going to be around each other. We're going to be in a hotel. We're going to be together. Hopefully, guys will get around each other. There's nothing else to do. There's nowhere to go. We're in the hotel and we're together and we're working." That's the only thing that's going to fix it, is doing all the things Josh is laying out in the plan going forward this week. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they actually have a top 10 defense in terms of points allowed, which I have always thought is one of the most important stats when it comes to the defensive side of the football. You might give up some yards, you may not have the best pass rush in the world, but at the end of the day, if your defense can hold opponents, not let them score touchdowns, you know, at the end of the day, that's what wins you games, is the final score. So it will not be an easy game for the Raiders, especially considering they weren't able to score any points against a bottom of the league ranked defense in New Orleans. Regardless, I think the Raiders should be fully rested physically, and they should be fully motivated to perform after such an embarrassing loss against New Orleans. So there should be absolutely no excuses for this team to come out flat, to not get the victory. I expect this team to go out and get the victory for this team, but you never know in the NFL. Nothing is guaranteed. In Jacksonville, they also want to end their long losing streak, and I think they're still a good team despite their 2-6 record. Also, last week against New Orleans, we saw the Saints, they got out to an early lead, which I believed helped contribute to them containing our biggest strength on offense, which is Josh Jacobs and this rushing attack. Josh Jacobs only had 43 rushing yards on 10 carries, but I think the Raiders will make it an emphasis to get Josh Jacobs more involved on Sunday, come back to the more run balance approach on offense. And ultimately too, I'm looking for this offense to get off to a fast start and not let last week's performance on offense continue to linger in this game. I expect the Raiders to come out with a great emphasis in their first couple drives to put points on the board. Defensively, I hope Patrick Graham and this defense can bounce back after such a terrible performance against New Orleans, allowing Alvin Kamara to completely dominate us. Also, one of the main things I did not like with the defense is I saw there was a lack of effort on defense and just from this whole team in general. So let's be honest, if this team has any pride left, if they have any heart left, I expect them to bounce back and get the victory. I think this game, Josh McDaniels will need to show all his critics and all the fans of the Raider Nation that he has not completely lost the locker room and come out on Sunday prepared and execute on both sides of the football and implement a game plan to beat Jacksonville, a team that I think we should beat. If the Raiders come out this week flat, if we end up shitting the bed like we did against New Orleans, if this team puts out another embarrassing performance on Sunday, I think that is going to give you a huge indicator that Josh McDaniels has lost the locker room, that essentially there's something else going on with this team that we don't know that is severely affecting the state of this team. But ultimately, I think the Raiders do win this game. I think the Raiders win 24-17, a close game, a one possession game, but ultimately I think the Raiders pull through at the end. And look, if we win this game, I think this victory would give a lot of fans some hope that maybe it's not too late in the season to turn it around. Me personally though, even if the Raiders come out and win, even if they come out and dominate against Jacksonville Jaguars and get a dominant victory, look, I'm not going to get overhyped because at the end of the day, consistency is what makes you a legitimate threat in the National Football League and not just talent. And that's something this team has yet to prove, and that is something that this team has yet to been able to prove to us, that they are a consistent football team. So we'll just have to see what happens on Sunday. Ultimately, I expect the Raiders to come out and bounce back, have a good performance, and ultimately get the victory. But Raider Nation, let me know in the comment section down below, what are you guys expecting from this game on Sunday? Let me know down below. With that being said, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel and you guys love Raiders related content like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.